You hear that noise? That's my tired dogs. We just got back from a long walk. You guys are gonna have to get used to me being sweaty in these videos, and never mind the beach that I'm manifesting, my beach life in the background. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is the Wizard of Oz is the law of attraction. So it's so crazy because I've been studying the law of attraction, well, newly. I started it like 10 years ago and then lost it, didn't really get that into it, but then recently picked it back up. And the Wizard of Oz had been on my heart to watch for some reason. And I watched it like a month ago, and I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. And I was like, oh, who am I going to tell this story to? Excuse me, I have like a really bad rash on my leg. So if you see me leaning down, it's because it's really itchy. I think I have like poison ivy or something. I don't know. I've been at the river a lot. Anyway, so I need to stop scratching it. So if you see me scratching it, say, stop scratching it. Okay, so the law of attraction. All right, so I had this on my mind to watch this video. To watch this movie. So, all right, so it starts out, Dorothy goes to get her dog out of the old wicked witch. Okay, first off, now I haven't seen this since I was a kid. So I'm watching this video, watching this movie, and I realized the wicked old witch, I don't know if you've watched this since you've been an adult, she's like 30 tops. And I'm like, dang, I thought she was this old hag when I was a kid. And I'm like, I'm legit 10 years older or more than her. And I thought it was interesting. There's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to point out about this movie. And I'm just going to go off the top of my head, whatever comes to me. But the first thing I noticed was the witch is actually young. But she's really mean. So it makes her ugly. But she's maybe in her late 20s even. Tell me if you remember, if you've seen it, how old do you think the wicked old witch is? Okay, so then Dorothy, she hit her head. What really happened is she hit her head, but she went into the dream world because she got knocked out. And so while she's in the dream world, she meets the Munchkins, which is probably politically incorrect, but never mind that right now. So she meets the Munchkins, and then she meets Glenda, the beautiful witch. Glenda is like in her 50s. This was powerful for me because sometimes I get in my head about getting old. I'm starting to embrace it though, because I feel like I'm growing more, and I feel like the growth makes me more attractive. I seem to be attracting people that I didn't used to attract. So we'll just say that I'm fine wine. Yeah, we'll say that. So but I liked that because it wasn't like Hollywood. Sometimes they have like mean girls and they're portrayed as like popular. What's it? But actually in the Wizard of Oz, the one that's the beautiful good witch is actually way older than the evil witch. So that was the first thing that jumped out at me. It hadn't clicked that it was the law of attraction yet. Next thing, she has to get on the path. The witch Glenda can't go with her. I can't ever remember the evil witch's name, but Glenda can't go with her. And so she just has to go in faith. But Glenda has her put on the shoes. I think that's where she puts on the shoes. So then first she meets the scarecrow, and he's doing all this self-hate. Dorothy doesn't know how to get home. She wants to get home. The scarecrow, he says he doesn't have a brain, and he's just putting himself up. Well, first off, you wouldn't even be able to talk if you didn't have a brain. So you definitely have a brain, but he just doubts himself so much. He doubts himself. And then next they meet the Tin Man, and his was, he didn't have a heart, but he's the most emotional one. So the scarecrow's the smartest one. The Tin Man was the most emotional one, and he said he didn't have a heart. And then they met the Cowardly Lion, who was the most fearful out of all, but actually was really kind and wanted to be like sweet and loving to nature. And he actually was very not brave at all. He was afraid of everybody and afraid of everything. Well, anyway, and so they're just this quad they're just this quad group. No editing. I'm keeping it all in. I don't care. You're going to see it all real. Who cares? So there's this quadruple, that's what I wanted to say, this quadruple group of humans that are are, they're just misfits. They're all missing something. Dorothy doesn't know how to get home, no brain, no heart, no courage, and yeah, so Dorothy tells the Scarecrow, hey, we can go to the wizard. He's gonna show me how to get home. He can show you, he can maybe give you a brain. Okay, then they meet Tin Man. Oh, well, the wizard can show you how to get a brain. Okay, then they meet the Cowardly Lion. The wizard can show you how to get courage. And so they start getting so powerful together. What does it say? If two or more believe. So they get 4 of them and they become so powerful. They're skipping. They got a fancy little skip that they're doing in that movie too. I kind of want to learn that skip. It looks fun. And so they're skipping on down the yellow brick road. And they've got just all kind of roadblocks along the way. The witch, those flowers, I think they were poppies or something. Dorothy she fell asleep. Not sure what that noise was. It sounded like a firecracker. Anyway, so then they finally get to the wizard. And the wizard ends up being a fraud. And so at first they're thinking, okay, he's a fraud. But actually what he gave them was the truth. He said, just close your eyes and click your heels and say there's no place like home. Is this not the law of attraction at its finest? Literally affirmations, feel it, get the goosebumps, and then you manifest it. And once they all believed in the thing that they wanted, they had it. Then once they all had it, I get goosebumps talking about it. Once they all believed, then they all were complete. Dorothy was able to go home and everything was as it should be. But anyway, that movie is so powerful. It's 100% the law of attraction. And it's just crazy that we were exposed to this stuff as a kid and that we were programmed to actually forget these types of things. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. And if you haven't seen that movie recently, watch it again, and tell me if you don't just feel all kinds of good vibes from that movie. I just think that is a very positive message. And even the music in it. Usually I don't really like musicals. The songs get on my nerves, but I think every song in that movie has a good message in it. And it's just a beautiful story. And The Wiz is good too. I haven't watched that since probably like 15 years. I need to go back and watch that one and see if that one is also law of attraction, because I'm betting that it is. So if you're into the law of attraction, thumbs up. If you can think of any movies, I keep hearing about The Secret. I haven't watched it yet. That's next on the list because I've quit watching TV altogether. But if you guys can recommend a good law of attraction movie for me, or a documentary or YouTube channel, please let me know. And yeah, we'll just keep doing this every night. This is 3 days, 2 days vegan, 3 days no drinking. I feel amazing. Oh, I gotta tell you guys. Okay, wait, it's not the end of the video. I gotta tell you guys what happened today because I don't want to make another video about this. I want to say it while it's fresh. So I had already planned to do the Wizard of Oz movie today. So I was eating this raw food and I've been learning, like, you know, like, love your food and bless it. And I know that sounds weird that if you're not used to doing this, but once you kind of start waking up spiritually, and if somebody knows what ringing in your ears means, please tell me, because all day it's like, whoa, whoa. And some of you are going to be like, damn, Lega-C, you're on drugs. No, it's, I'm picking up a signal. I don't know what it means, but it means something, because it's always like I'm having this intense energy feeling, and then the ringing comes. I'm like, what is that? I have thanked the universe for telling me what that means, what that signal is. Anyway, so I knew I was in tune with something because I've been eating all this raw food and I've been blessing it. And like every time I do it, I get this ringing, I get goosebumps. I'm like, what is this about? So then I was listening to this video about talking to water and blessing water. And I've heard about, I forget the guy's name, but I've heard about like loving the water and then freezing it. And it makes like these beautiful crystals, and then like talking shit to the water. And it's like all chaotic. And they look at it under a microscope. I'm tempted to buy a microscope and do this because I'm so curious. I believe it 100%. So anyway, and I walk down by the river every night. And so I was like, and they were just talking about like praying or just being one with the water and loving the water and blessing the water and thanking the water, because the water is the same water. The water doesn't have time. Water is we drink it, it goes into the clouds, it evaporates, it's the same water. We don't get new water, it's the same water. So this water and I know there's such thing as water memory because I've seen a documentary on that. So anyway, I just decided I'm just going to give it a try and see what this water does. And so I said, like, thank you, water. I love you for being here. Thank you for blessing this earth. And I did this, I don't know, for maybe about 5 minutes slowly while I was walking and looking at the water. I got to this part where the sun was like hitting, the sun started going down and the sun was like glistening off the river, going all the way across the river. And I thought, well, that is really pretty. So I just stood there for a minute and watched the water. And I kid you not, every little movement that I made, the water was moving and it was changing the reflection off the water. It was like doing a dance. Whoa, I've done acid before. I've done Molly before. This was intense. Like, I've heard we have natural DMT. I know that we do. Somebody was saying that on a comment yesterday, I think. For sure, I just tapped into it. For sure. So then I was like, no. And I am 100% sober. I was like, no freaking way. So then I like moved my arm out like that and the water goes, whoo, and I was like, what? And then I did my other arm. I'm like, what in the and I just stood there and took it in. And then I'll do a video about birds at some point. And then all these birds started coming and they were like doing, like flying backwards into my face and like doing all these fancy movements and dances that I've never seen birds move like this. And I was just like, wow, thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you for all of those signs. Yes, I am sending you all good vibes. I hope you felt all those good vibes. I hope we're all waking up. Yeah, just good vibes. Just good vibes. I don't care if there's 2 of you watching or 2 million. I did this for you. And I love you so much. I love you so much. Anyway, it was a beautiful walk and I just wanted to share that. It was so, I actually cried. It brought me to tears. It was so powerful. And I probably looked insane because I was just standing at the river. So emotional, like, how have I not been seeing this my whole life? It was amazing. It was beautiful. And I want to continue to eat raw food and continue to raise my vibration and hear more ringing in my ears and see more water dance. And what am I going to see tonight, tomorrow? I love it. It's exciting. Life is beautiful. Thank you, universe. Namaste.